Hey everybody, my name's Phil Mann. Welcome to episode 0 of Students of Sales. We have Mr. Tyler Witt, we have Dr. Michael Mason joining us, and I think we should start here. What is Students of Sales? We wanted to create an online sales resource and podcast to help salespeople, become better salespeople. We wanted to help SDRs, AEs, senior salespeople, leaders, and we just wanted to give them an online resource where they can kind of come, get some knowledge, share some knowledge, and ultimately get better at who they are and what they do. So that's what the Students of Sales is about. Why is it called Students of Sales? Because there's no such thing as an expert. There's no such thing as a sales guru. We are all very much humble students of the game. We're students of sales. So let's start with who are we? We've got Tyler Witt and Michael Mason on the call. So going back to when I originally had the idea, it was like I was just really frustrated. There's no real online sales resource where you can just go and learn about different objections or different ways to get better at your job. And I've just always been really close to these two people, Tyler and Michael. We call him Mace. His name's Michael, but we call him Mace. And Tyler is just an absolute legend of the game. He's a senior sales manager. He's been in sales for a very, very, very long time, and he's just absolutely obsessed with sales. He eats, sleeps, drinks it, and he's just one of those guys when he's never offline. He just loves absolutely talking about sales all the time, which is why I absolutely had to have him involved in the project. And when me and Tyler first spoke, the only person we wanted to consider joining our team was Dr. Michael Mason. And Mace is just a learning and development specialist. He's been in sales a long time. He's kind of started from the ground up, and now he's a VP of sales in a really big company. And ultimately, he's just obsessed, with personal development, helping people get better at sales. But ultimately, these are the two people that I wanted to, work on this project with. But Tyler, maybe handing it over to you. What's our goal here?
No, I think you nailed it. I mean, our goal, I think, as a whole, is to ensure that salespeople coming up today get the same level and I guess of training and resources that we all were blessed with as we came up. So I think one of the things is right now that I notice out there is there's a lot of people really trying to sort of push their product or push their idea. And it's not true to the nature of sales always. Great stuff out there, but it can sometimes be very hard depending on where you are in your sales process, where you are in your sales career, of where to turn to. So when Phil brought this to me, I've been doing sales for very, 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 very long time. I think as Phil put it there. But I've done B2C, door to door, B2B, B2B to C, mid market, enterprise. I've experienced so much of the sales world and all the different cultures out there. And I just realized, the most important thing is you get the foundation and the fundamentals. And so when Phil approached me with this idea and said, hey, let's create something where people can turn, doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter what, sales they're doing, they can turn to that and they can learn something that they're going to be able to apply immediately. And it can be an all-in-one resource without pitching, my training course or, these other things that are sometimes going to be big barriers. Like, while they can be great for teams, they can be huge barriers for individuals. And we want individuals like us to become students. Right. And if you don't have the right library, it's kind of really hard to know what books you should be reading. Right. So hopefully you're going to stay tuned and you're going to, see as we come out with some of these podcasts, as we do. We've got a bunch of stuff online, a bunch of resources we're going to give out, and we're going to, try to give back to the people of sales as much as sales has given to us. And that's the whole mission that is in front of us. But yeah, kind of like Phil was saying, he came to me. And this is probably I think I wrote it down, 583,000th idea Phil's brought to me. This is the first one that I really thought yeah, I think this is doing something, good for the community. And I really do think we can make an impact here. And like he said, we immediately thought, all right, who's the person that's going to actually be the glue that keeps us together? And at the end of the day, make sure that we're putting forward the best content possible, because he is the doctor of sales. He's got an honorary, PhD from the Students of Sales and the School of Hard Knocks. So Dr. Michael Mason, kind of like to hear a little bit about you. and what you brought you kind of to join this reckless team here.
Yeah, well, thanks for the intro, Tyler. I appreciate that. And like most of you guys that are listening, I ended up in sales on accident. It started off as just kind of a random summer job from a family friend that happened to be in the HR department, of the recruiting department, for a little inside sales outfit for one of the big telecom companies. And when I got there, had never done phone sales before, or any sales for that matter. And like most of you guys right out of the gate, I wasn't very good at it. But I'm a competitive person with a sports background, and love to win, hate to lose. And I asked myself, what's the best way to get really good at something? And it was to learn from the greats, learn from the best people that had done it before. And so, back in my day when I started, we didn't have YouTube and LinkedIn and Instagram. We had the library, the physical library. So I went there, found some books by some guys by the names of Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, and at the time those happened to be who at the time were considered the best, the gurus, so to speak, of sales. And I became a student. Right, I read their content, I listened to their tapes and their CDs, and I took what was relevant to the kind of sales that I was doing, and made it my own, and practiced it and repeated it over and over again, and tried to master it. And I was fortunate enough to experience some great success in my sales career as a result of that. And I know the struggles of being in sales and not really knowing where to go for tools and resources. Not every organization has good sales coaching, training, and development. And so I built a passion for helping salespeople become what I like to call elite sales professionals. And when Phil and Tyler asked me to be a part of this group here that we've named Students of Sales, again, it was right up my alley. It was another opportunity for me to help sales professionals, one, become elite, but also accomplish their personal, their professional, their financial goals in the sales industry. And so it was a no-brainer decision for me to be a part of this. And so what you guys can expect from us on the podcast are going to be some amazing conversations, as well as some amazing debates on all manner of sales topics, from cold calling strategies and approaches to methods of handling objections to discovery and when it should be done within the conversation, mindset, goal setting. There's not a sales topic or skill or ability that will help you in your sales career that we're not going to touch on this podcast. So we're excited to have you guys as listeners and as guests, and we welcome you all to the Students of Sales. You can expect to see our episodes on all your streaming and podcast platforms on a weekly basis. And we'd love to hear your feedback, as well as your thoughts and ideas on what would be great topics for us to cover to continue to help support you guys. So once again, I welcome you all to the Students of Sales.